Hi, Brady, the politics guy. I'm going to talk about the two biggest frauds in the scholarship revolving around gun policy. From the gun control side, the biggest fraud is Michael Bellesiles, who wrote a book called Arming America that claimed that the founding fathers had almost no firearms in the wills where they left property to their families. But when people went back and checked his notes, they found a lot more than he claimed. Some of the numbers he claimed to have, those records don't exist, and so it's not clear where he got them from. He claimed that he had a bunch of notes that were destroyed in a flood, and a blogger actually investigated his claims and proved that even if you have pencil-written notes on sticky note paper, you can still read those after a flood. You can take them apart individually and still read through them. So the idea that they were destroyed in a flood isn't really plausible. He ended up losing his academic status and was kind of kicked out of the historian, was kind of disgraced within the historical community. On the other hand, on the gun rights side, John Lott wrote a book called More Guns, Less Crime, in which he claimed to have gotten a lot of data at the county level about gun ownership, and he got a pretty good proxy for gun ownership and some statistics about how many gun crimes were occurring, and gun crimes and crimes generally were occurring in those counties by calling up the county officials directly and getting them to release those notes to him. After he published his book, several people tried to recreate his notes, found contradictory data, was not able to find some of his data, and he, on a couple points, admitted that he had estimated things that he had presented as a solid, definitive count, which is a small detail, but openly fraudulent in that detail. He, being an economist rather than a historian, they have different rules for what is acceptable in the scholarship. So he didn't get in as much trouble as Michael Bellesiles. Never going to remember that name. So he's actually continued to publish in academia, but he's kind of well known among scholars for being rabidly pro-gun and for twisting the facts to fit the narrative. He also wrote a book called Freedomnomics that has lost quite a bit of reputation, and also he is the only scholar to have presented a paper about the 2020 election, claiming that it was the election results were fraudulent enough to have overturned the election and that Biden should not have won. His scholarly paper has not been peer-reviewed because nobody takes it seriously enough to peer-review it. And so those are the two biggest liars from the two sides of the gun policy issue in the United States. That's the video.